Hey guys, how's it going? I'm watching the news here, catching up. It's what is it, 5th, 7th, 8th of June? Yeah, Friday, the 8th of June. Reading all this stuff about how Eric Holder keeps lying to our congressmen and all of our representatives in the House, and it's very upsetting. It really is. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, clearly he's lying. Clearly he's perjuring himself before Congress. Uh, and nothing seems to be getting done about this. I mean, our representatives, I'm watching Isaacs yell at him. I mean, people are basically raising a stink over it, but nothing's actually being done. Where are our representatives? I mean, I understand there's got to be a process of law in which there's formality through which they have to do certain things in order to, define him as being guilty under these said charges, but clearly he's withholding evidence. Clearly he's not being fair to the American people. He's not telling us what we should be knowing. And I think that, wouldn't you like to know? I mean, I'd sure like to know. There's guys on our southern border that are dead. Yeah, they're dead. They're never coming back. And then, the countless thousands of probably, at least thousands of our Mexican brethren over the border that are now dead because they allowed these weapons to be walked into the country. They'll arrest you or I for pot. They'll arrest you or I for something stupid and insignificant, but they don't arrest the Attorney General when he flat out perjures himself in front of Congress. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. It's a dissidence that I don't think I'll ever get over. Now, I also read that a month ago, a federal judge did rule the National Defense Authorization Act is unconstitutional, which is a real big win, and tip of the hat to that man, because at least that's someone who's actually gives a shit and who isn't just going to throw us under the bus just because they got paid off by one of these, corporate interests. Obviously, the NRA, ILA is flipping shit about it, and we should too. It's getting sickening anymore that in this country, most of us are so concerned with our smartphones, our iPads, just all this bullshit that, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. Like, I like video games, I like being entertained, I like movies too, but I try my best to pay attention to the real issues and inject them to my other fellow brethren. It bothers me that most of the people I come across don't even know about, like, 9/11. They know that, some guys in a cave supposedly blew up some buildings, which we all know by now is all horseshit. Our fucking own government did it. And it bothers me that, again, people, I'll say something to someone. I'll say, hey, what do you think about, World Trade Center Building 7 coming down? Or, hey, what do you think about the state police that have gone into federal court and admitted, hey, we saw F-16s, F-22 Raptors chasing Flight 93? And people say, oh, well, I don't want to talk about that. Well, you don't want to talk about that? No, instead you'd rather talk about Lady Gaga on Facebook and YouTube and all this other dumb shit. I think it's time where, we as Americans and as adults, we really need to stand up and start injecting the real issues. Let's follow in the steps of the people that are good. Let's follow in the steps of our congressmen, our representatives who are asking the real questions and are trying to, bring this to a head so that these people can be properly persecuted. The problem is that I see, and I think most of us will agree, it's going to come to a point where the people in this country are just going to get so fucking tired of it that they're just going to grab their guns and they're going to go to Washington and they're going to shoot these people. I have no problem saying that. I mean, that's what it's going to come to. It says very clearly that our Second Amendment is designed exactly for that reason. When our government becomes tyrannical and starts doing all this ridiculous shit, where they're throwing people in jail, no due process. No due process whatsoever. It's like the video I posted the other day. The officers are standing there. They clearly know they're breaking the law, and the cop looks at me, and with a straight face, he says to me, when the president follows the Constitution, I will. Now, how can someone like that possibly ever enforce the law when they don't even believe in the law? He knows the law, but he certainly doesn't believe in it, and he thinks he's above the Constitution. Well, I got news for you, Jack. No one's above the Constitution. No one's above the rule of law. That's why we have it. If you don't have rule of law, you have complete anarchy, and you're going to have just people killing each other in the streets. All right? And our country's headed that way. We need to get out of this fiat currency. Geithner and all those criminals over there at the Treasury Department, they all need to be thrown in jail because they're a bunch of lying scumbags if I ever heard of them. I mean, how dare they come on TV and say, oh, the economy's doing great. By the way, we're doing QE3. No, the economy's not doing great. I just saw a Max Kaiser episode yesterday where he had $100 trillion bill from Zimbabwe. $100 trillion. You can't buy a loaf of bread for that much. That's how bad hyperinflation's taken over. The store owners in that country, when they readjust their pricing for inflation, they do this on a weekly basis. Now, normally they were doing it on a daily basis, but because inflation has taken over at such an incredible, astronomical rate that they can't do it. It is so fast that if they fill out the paperwork, by the time the paperwork goes through, it jumps up, 40-fold of what it just was. And again, he held up $100 trillion bill. That's where this country's heading. Everyone, again, we need to stop being worried with all this nonsense and the song and dance and, oh, who's on Dancing with the Stars and who's on America's Got Talent. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care. I don't give a shit about any of that dumb bullshit. I don't care. It's not important. You know, it disgusts me and it pisses me off to no end that so many people in this country, they don't care about freedom. We're taking it for granted and we're, oh, la la la, I'm a moron. I just do what I'm told. I'm a yuppie. No, that's not what made this country great. What made this country great was free thought. People thinking for themselves. People putting A and B together and seeing that C is bad and we're not going to stand for it. And I myself, I'm not going to stand for it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of you criminals constantly saying, oh, we'll come and arrest you people. We'll throw you in jail if we want to. You're the criminal. You are the criminal, Eric Holder. You are the criminal, President Obama. How dare you sit there and crack jokes? I saw him on Jimmy Fallon the other week. Now again, if you watched my videos, you'll see that I've noted that I cannot get a license to carry a firearm in the state of Pennsylvania because I smoked pot when I was a kid. But yet, President Obama goes on Jimmy Fallon and cracks jokes about it. Oh, I used to smoke pot all the time. Ha ha ha, real funny. Fuck you, President Obama, you criminal. You criminal. How dare you? You know, you're going to sign off and have people get SWAT teamed and thrown in jail. You know, these goofy, ridiculous sentences, 30, 40, 50 years for a bag of weed. For a bag of weed. You know, if I was making meth in my house, I mean, it seemed, you know, when I hear, you know, they're SWAT teaming Amish people for selling raw milk. They're arresting young girls for selling lemonade. I mean, this is crazy. This is fucking crazy. We shouldn't stand for it. I certainly won't stand for it. And I'm making this video to let all my fellow brethren, all these people out here in America and around the world, if you happen to be watching this video, that it is time. It is time for us to not stand aside and not watch this happen. I don't want to see bad things happen to people, even if I disagree with people. What made this country great was the fact that we were free thinkers, and because we were allowed to think freely and be the best at what we could be, that's why we had the most wealth. That's why we ruled the world, okay? We need to get back to that. And I'm not saying, oh, be arrogant, be, you know, some terrible person. No. But when, you know, there's obvious, clear evidence that Eric Holder's lying, President Obama's lying, he's a puppet, he's not an American citizen, go research it. They come out all the time, you know, there's too much of this, oh, well, it might have been this, and it might have been that. Like, no. If you're the president, you should be able to clearly fucking show that you are an American-born citizen. That's treason. That's treason, guys. For him to knowingly do that and be up there and laugh and crack jokes about it like it is just, oh, brew, ha, ha, so funny. I don't think it's funny, you criminal. You know? And I guarantee you there's about 100,000 of us out there who think the same exact way. So, again, I'm just bringing it to light. Please, I'm asking you guys, you know, I can't do it all on my own. You can't do it all on your own. We got to get other people involved. Let's get back into freedom and liberty. Read the Constitution. Read it. It's simple. It's not perfect, but it's a pretty simple document. And when you have a general basis and understanding of it, you'll realize why we are the best nation in the world. You know, this whole idea where, like I said again the other day, you know, the cops laugh. It's funny to them that they don't follow the Constitution. It ain't fucking funny to me, Jack. It ain't funny to me. All right. Had to rant and rave. Had to get it out there. Glad you guys are subscribing, and I hope more people do. And again, I hope all of you bring these things up. I carry a pocket Constitution with me to inform all those yuppies out there and all those morons that say, well, oh, this and that, I'm an idiot. I don't care about the Constitution. I don't care that the government signs documents that say they can just kill us and re-educate us. You want to fucking re-educate me, you criminal scum? Come and get me. Come and fucking get me. I got something for you. Yeah, you criminal terrorist. How dare you write documents like our founding fathers would be rolling over in their graves if they saw the tyrannous oppression that we were under right now, and they wouldn't even stand for it. If Jefferson, Adams, Madison, any of those guys were here today, they would have already been killed because they would have already went to Washington and fired at these fucking people. How dare they try to sign away our rights? How dare they? And to anybody that agrees with it, I got news for you, Jack. Floodwaters raise all ships, and you're not exempt. You ain't exempt by any way, shape, or form. Okay? You know, it's funny, and oh, it's brouhaha, I don't care about that. You'll care when they come drag you out of your house and take you to a re-education camp. You'll say, oh, that's not true. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Go to usarmy.gov and type in document 3.39.40. It clearly states that people like you and I, people that simply disagree, exercising our First Amendment right, I'm not calling for violence in any way, I'm simply disagreeing. I simply disagree that I shouldn't be allowed to be thrown into prison indefinitely simply because I disagree? I mean, what the fuck is this? This is not Nazi Germany. This is not Nazi Germany. So Obama or any of the other criminals, if you watch this, fuck you. That's my honest opinion. Fuck you. I'm not gonna follow your laws. You're not taking me to your FEMA camp. You're not gonna re-educate me. If you want to re-educate me, again, I got something for you, criminals. Come and get me. Come take me to your fucking camp. You lousy criminal. How dare you? How dare you completely undermine what we stand for? All right. Well, I salute those that stand up for what is right and for our Constitution. And again, please get this information out. Please research it. Tell everyone you know, your friends, your family, and they might get mad, they might get pissed off, they might not care. Good, so be it. Then they don't. At least you tried. I won't be one of those people that when all this goes down or when it really starts getting tyrannous depression, when they start droning people and predator striking people from the air because they're selling raw milk, okay? It ain't going to be me that's standing by saying, wow, I wish I'd have done something. It ain't going to be me. You know? When you're being shoved onto the train car and you're being pushed into the oven to be gassed to death, guess what? It's too fucking late to raise your hand and say, hey, I disagree. You should have been doing that now. Now. Do it. Alright, guys. Take it easy. Hope the summer goes well. I hope we can turn this shit around. Because we all know we need to. And, I hope it gets better before it gets worse. So, this is Francispennysac signing off. Have a good weekend.